Sin was never a punishment. It was a decision. A world that looked at loss and chose preservation over acceptance. So it built a future where nothing truly ends, where death is delayed, where grief is ritualized. Sin exists to make sure the past is never finished. And that choice had a cost. One Spira kept paying without ever understanding why.
More than 1,000 years ago, mankind waged war using machina to kill.
They kept building more and more powerful machina.
They made weapons so powerful, it was thought they could destroy the entire world.
The people feared that Spira would be destroyed.
But the war did not stop.
What happened then?
Sin came, and it destroyed the cities and their machina.
The war ended, and our reward was sin.
So, sin's our punishment for letting things get out of hand, eh?
Man, that's rough.
1,000 years ago, Spira was dominated by two city-states, Zanarkand and Bavel. They went to war. The game does not frame this conflict as ideological or moral. It presents it as a struggle between power systems. Bavel relied heavily on machina. Zanarkand relied on summoners and eons. According to the faith of Bahamut, this imbalance decided the war early. Bavel's machina ensured victory from the start. Zanarkand's summoners never stood a real chance. This is critical. Zanarkand was not a city fighting for dominance. It was a city facing inevitable destruction. As defeat became unavoidable, Zanarkand did not seek escalation. There was no stronger eon to summon, no countermeasure capable of matching Bavel's machina. The question stopped being how to win the war. It became how to prevent total erasure. Zanarkand's leader, Yuna, chose preservation. He gathered the surviving summoners and citizens of Zanarkand and transformed them into faith. Not for a temporary summoning, but to sustain one continuously. From those faith, he created Dream Zanarkand, a complete reproduction of the city at the height of its glory. This Dream Zanarkand was not an illusion. It was a real, physical place, sustained by summoning and isolated from the rest of Spira. Sustaining a summoning of that scale required protection. Yuna remained at its center, and around himself, he formed an armor of fireflies. That armor became Sin. Sin was not created to win the war. It was created to ensure the dream would never end. The real Zanarkand was destroyed. Bavel won. But the war did not truly end. Sin remained in Spira, destroying concentrations of machina and preventing the world from moving forward. Over time, Yuna lost conscious control. Sin became cyclical, regenerating endlessly around him. After the war, Spira did not understand Sin. It understood only one thing. Sin could be stopped. Not ended, stopped. That distinction was never explained. At the ruins of Zanarkand, Yuna confronted the reality left behind by the war. She understood what the world would not be told. As long as Yuna existed, Sin would always return. There was no solution that erased the problem, only one that delayed it. That delay became known as the final summoning. The final summoning is not the Aeon itself, it is the ritual. It is the moment a summoner reaches Zanarkand to perform the act the world believes will end sin. The pilgrimage concludes. The summoner enters the chamber. Sin falls. The details are never taught. Only the result matters. A calm follows. The summoner does not return. And Spira is told that peace was earned. The calm is not peace. It is absence. Sin is gone, and for the first time in years, the world can breathe. The sea opens, trade resumes, cities rebuild where ruins once stood. Life does not return to normal. It simply moves again. That movement is enough. The calm gives Spira something it has been denied since the war. The illusion of continuity. People marry, children are born, homes are rebuilt on foundations that were never meant to last. No one asks how long it will hold, because the calm is not designed to answer questions. It is designed to delay them. Grief does not disappear during a calm. It is postponed. The dead are honoured. The summoner is remembered as a hero. Loss is framed as meaningful, as necessary. And meaning makes pain tolerable. The calm teaches Spira a dangerous lesson. That suffering is acceptable as long as it is intermittent. As long as there are years without sin, years where life can be lived without fear, the cost becomes abstract. Someone died so this could happen. But not today. Not now. Most summoners never reached Zanarkand. Not because they lacked faith, not because they were unworthy, but because the road itself was designed to break people. You meet them everywhere in Spira. A summoner who turned back before Jose, one who lost a guardian and could not continue, another who reached the end too early, and learned what the pilgrimage truly demanded, when there was no strength left to give. Some names are remembered, many are not. Their stories survive only as fragments, a prayer left unfinished, a staff resting in a temple corner, a guardian waiting for someone who will never return. They are spoken of quietly, without ceremony, without judgment. Failure, in Spira, is not treated as tragedy. It is treated as expected. The pilgrimage does not promise survival. It only promises meaning, if you endure long enough. So those who fail are not mourned as victims. They are folded into the background of the world. Proof that walking the road was never a guarantee, only a willingness to be consumed by it.
What does it matter? No one truly believes that I, a fallen summoner wed to an Al-Bhed, could possibly defeat sin. This is what they say. No one expects us to succeed.
Braska, sir.
Let's show them they're wrong. A fallen summoner, a man from Zanarkand, and a warrior monk doomed to obscurity for refusing the hand of the priest's daughter. What delightful irony it would be if we defeated sin.
Braska did not begin his pilgrimage as a believer in victory. He began it as someone already tired of faith. Where others spoke of destiny, Braska spoke of responsibility. Someone had to walk the road. Someone had to reach the end, even knowing what the end demanded. He gathered 2 guardians who did not fit the doctrine. Oren followed him not out of devotion, but conviction. Jecht followed him without belief at all. A man pulled into a world that asked for sacrifice before it explained the cost. Braska understood the truth before either of them fully did. He knew the final summoning would not save Spira. He knew sin would return. And he walked the pilgrimage regardless. That is what separates Braska from those who failed and from those who believed. He did not mistake interruption for victory. He accepted it as all the world was willing to allow. At Zanarkand, Braska completed the ritual. He sacrificed Jecht. Sin fell. The calm that followed was real, but Braska was never under the illusion that it would last. His faith was not in the system. It was in the idea that delaying suffering might still matter to someone else. Braska died knowing the truth. Together they carried the cost of a world that chose to endure instead of learning how to let go. Yuna begins her pilgrimage believing in the same promise everyone else was given. Not because she was naive, because belief was the only way to keep walking. She learns the truth the same way every summoner does, too late and all at once. That the final summoning does not end sin. That the calm is temporary. That someone must die so the world can pretend it worked. Yuna is offered the same role her father accepted, the same choice Yunalesca normalized, the same ending Braska endured. She refuses. Not in anger, not in denial, but in understanding. For the first time, a summoner looks at the system and decides that interruption is not enough. With Tidus, Yuna does what no one before her allowed themselves to do. She chooses to break the cycle instead of continuing it. There is no replacement sacrifice, no new final aeon, no next calm to soften the truth. They defeat sin, knowing exactly what it will cost. When Yu Yevon is finally destroyed, there is no victory ceremony. There is no peace guaranteed by ritual. There is only an ending. The faith are allowed to rest. Dream Zanarkand fades, and Tidus disappears. This is the price Spira avoided for 1,000 years. Yuna does not save the world by preserving it. She saves it by letting it end, by accepting loss instead of managing it, by choosing grief over repetition, by refusing to build another future where nothing ever finishes. Sin was never the enemy. The refusal was. And with Yuna, for the first time, Spira learns how to let go.